So I want to talk a little bit about recovery from narcissism because I believe that there are three core pillars. And I don't know that they're necessarily as sequential as this. I think they cross over a little bit more. But in essence, I think the psychoeducation piece is a really important piece, which is essentially learning what are the rules at play in narcissism. What are the fundamental behaviors that I have to accept? The lack of accountability, the lack of empathy, because what that does is it kind of begins to map out, this is the truth of the world that I am living in relationship with this other individual. It starts to clear away all the murkiness around the hope of it being different, or the idea that if I were to just say it a little differently, or if I were to just approach it a little bit differently, or if I was just to consider it a little bit differently, or perhaps my timing was off. And it just allows us to see the truth of what that landscape is. So for that reason, I think it's really critically important to understand the narcissist. I also advocate tremendously for bringing the attention and the energy and the focus back to yourself, because the likelihood is that this other person has been hemorrhaging your resources energetically, emotionally, and otherwise for a very long time for you to have got to this point. So it is time now for you to reclaim you, unplug from the narcissist, bring the focus and the attention back to you. Once we're there, we can begin to heal not just from this relationship and the impact of this, but also it could be that this might not have been the first narcissist in your life. You may have been raised in narcissism. You may have come across it in other ways. And so there are deeper, younger, more unconscious parts of you that will come on that journey as well. We're not just likely to be speaking to the you of today, but doing a really great job of making space for what else might be here for you on your life's journey. And then the space that I love to support you in, which is the moving forward and the mobilization. And once we have this beautifully sovereign, protected, well-informed, clear, emotionally literate and boundaried individual, how do we keep her safe? How do we ensure that this doesn't happen again? And how do we get to feel the very real potential of what life can be, living from a place of self-informed choice? So if you want to know more about all of the pieces in that piece, do like and subscribe to the channel, because there's much more there. You will find more on my website, katiefeder.com. And if you have a deep curiosity about exactly what this journey might look like for you as an individual, then by all means reach out to me directly and I can speak more deeply about how I can support you on your journey. So this journey of reclamation of self and healing and deeper self-awareness is something that I work with most of the time actually online. So no matter where you are in the world, we can access each other, which is a bonus. And my work focuses on, of course, narcissism, but also all forms of trauma, emotional trauma, and burnout, which is a very obvious and prevalent result of self-abandoning behaviors. Feel free to reach out to me, and I look forward to continuing the conversation soon.